Hey guys, Alberto here. First off, before we start this video, let me know what you guys think of these Yu-Gi-Oh videos in the comment section below. And if you want to see more of them, I know I'm more of an FGO streamer, and there will be some stream highlights here from this week later. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you want to know more about Yu-Gi-Oh and even Pokemon, I guess I can try to do Pokemon TCG as well. Anyway, so this video is going to be about the Savage Strike, kind of a review of the set. Today's the official release, Friday the 1st? Yeah, the 1st. So, and there's my phone going off. Tell me Charlene's ready. Anyway, let's go ahead and start off with some of the secrets, and this is just a generic review. I guess I can also put in, like, some important cards also that I think will be relevant here in the future as well. But let's go ahead and start off with some of the generic stuff, like Pots of Extravagance. I know it says Indulgence, but the TC name is Extravagance. I should know. I pulled one at Sneak Peek and I sold it immediately. But this just helps out rogue decks in general, or even like decks that don't really use the extra deck. Like I recently played this because I sold it to a buddy of mine. My buddy of mine let me play the deck of Subterror control with Guru, even playing Cyberstein and stuff. Overall, this helps out a lot. I mean, the whole also you cannot draw cards with card effects for the rest of the turn. That doesn't even matter. You're going to resolve this, you're going to get the cards you need, and then you can still go into your deck and search. So this card is actually more broken than I thought it was. Is it worth the price tag of what, $80, $70 right now? I don't know. I think it'll come down, but it's a short print card. So it is what it is. I don't know the actual TCG name off the top of my head of this card, but we'll just call it Phantasme. Phantasme is another one in the hand trap, along with the anti-kaiju. But this one's pretty cool. It gives us a kind of a mini Yugioh effect, fixing hand, especially going second. We fix our hand a little bit. We get a guarantee +1. It's another negate, so it's like a deco talker that you can special summon. A lot of people don't actually remember that effect. Phantasm. Oh yeah, it's still called Phantasme. That's easy. When your opponent activates a card effect that targets a monster you control, quick effect, discard a card, negate the activation, reduce, destroy that card. So, still really good. And when we're talking about hand traps, I guess we have to mention the Super Anti-Kaiju War Machine. This is actually super relevant now because recently they unleashed the newest ban list. Now we have Kaiju Slumber, Interrupted Kaiju Slumber is at 3. For those who don't know, Kaiju Slumber, what it does is it's basically a Raigeki for both sides, or I guess Dark Hole would be a better sense. And then you special summon 2 Kaijus from your deck, one on each field. So, using this in hand as well, you can already have, let's say you get the Thunder King, because this is actually the mecha version of the Thunder King. So you get 33 and 22. That's 55 damage already. Plus the effect to banish it. Like, that's already setting up an OTK, which is wild. Of course, you discard it, but you can special summon it if you're wondering how I'm getting the 55 damage. You can special summon this from the graveyard during the end phase once per duel. So you can always, like, even if you bring back, like, Monster Reborn or something, that's 55 damage. So, really important. Next, not so much like generic support. I guess, actually, no, we'll go talk about generic support with these 2 cards at least. These are surprisingly ultra rares, and this is a must-have if you're playing any tuners. But I'm honestly surprised that these were ultras. I was 90% sure that this was going to be a secret and this was going to be an ultra. So I was right about this, because having a Grand Mole Synchro monster that just prevents targeting to your other Link monsters is really nice. So it just targets itself, and most of the time that's going to deter like a Widow Anchor. It forces like a Widow Anchor or some sort of targeted destruction, which is really neat. So if you have both of these on board, not only can you like prevent the targeting, you can also is it only like monsters? For control. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's just monsters in general, as long as you have Link monsters. So that's really strong. So yeah, these 2 cards plus a free negate. Plus, it's going to be guaranteed over 3k. because you're going to get an equip and it gains half of that attack. And it keeps the Boro counters, by the way. So even if your opponent like MSTs the Link monster that equips, cool, it can still negate. They really haven't done anything. So yeah, really strong cards that I think are going to be underestimated. And I don't think these two are going to be used much yet, just because the meta is like Sky Striker, Thunder Dragon. We don't really have any decks right now outside of Destrudo, and Destrudo can only bring out this because it's a 7. So maybe you can tech this card more often right now than Yugioh Savage Dragon, just because Destrudo is really generic. So this might get more play over this, but honestly, this is obviously the better card. Next, I guess we're going to talk about War Legacy Guard Dragon. So Guard Dragon's the newest archetype. The main deck is all common except for one rare. So you really don't have to worry about the deck. Maybe you can do something that's surrounded by like a normal monster controls if you send the normal dragon monster to the graveyard. So maybe they can have a cheeky little thing with not heraldics, the normal dragon guys. Anyway, this card's actually super important because this works with movement column placement. So the Guard Dragon extra deck monsters, which is all super, which are honestly really good cards. That's really good dragon support that I've seen already getting played in Blue Eyes or Red Eyes, and just other like general shenanigans. I like the fact that this archetype extra deck can pull what's it called out of the deck, the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. It's really good, and this is super relevant because you might get you can just control where you want to put the Link monsters to once per turn, and you can just keep bringing out monsters and Link summoning with it. So it opens up monster zones as well. Honestly, it's really good. Next, we're going to talk about more archetype focus. What's my timing at? 7 minutes? All right, I need to wrap this up. Next, we're going to talk about the only two archetypes that really have support that's worth mentioning that aren't like straight up new. They just got a monster that they can foolish. Not really worth talking about anyway, in my opinion. We're going to be talking about Trick Stars first. So we got Trick Stars, Shiranuis, and Valkyries. So Trick Stars is actually a personal favorite archetype that I've played for a very long time. It's where I got my most local tops wins and had seen the most success at big time of like regionals and stuff, although I did take Muck Knight and Volta YCS 200. Anyway, this card specifically, Carbine, is something we've been waiting for as Trickstar players for a while. The Link monster is really good as well, just generic summoning. So if you go first and make this, and your opponent just still decides to spam the board with like trying to extra link you or whatever, or even just link spam, yeah, they're gonna have to think about it for a little bit. But this card I think is the most important card. Both of these cards are ultra rare, so they're so this one specifically is apparently one of the short print ultra rares. But this is kind of like the Cyber Dragon. Remember Goki, not Super X, but Rise Scorpio. So Rise Scorpio can normal summon itself if you control no monsters or all Goki monsters. This one is more of a Cyber Dragon, is what honestly Rise Scorpio should have been. If you control no monsters or all of you control our Trickstar monsters, you special summon it. And it's got a mini honest type of effect on it too. You can discard, if your Trickstar is battling a monster, you can discard Curvane and it gets double the original attack, which is really nice. So this provides both kind of like a battle protection and just a free special summon to Link summon to like either this or to your Link 4, or when we get Foxy Witch in April. All going to be really nice stuff. Valkyries, this is not too much really to talk about. They got a lot of TCG exclusive support, including this, a couple supers, and an ultra. Kind of like a mini soul charge. You pay 1,000, target Valkyries with different names in the graveyard, and your opponent also targets the same amount in the graveyard, and you both special summon it. But I think this is kind of the multi-figure. When if this card is special summon one Valkyrie monster from your deck, except itself. During the main phase, you can send the top 2 cards to your opponent's deck to the graveyard. So I think this is going to be kind of a similar thing to Ultrageist. Is from what honestly, this is literally the multi-figure of Valkyries. So I think they're going to have it set up to where more support is going to be kind of like mini floodgates to help special summon this and kind of spam the fields. Because honestly, This has got 0 attack. 2k booty. You're not going to special summon it in attack mode regardless. So if you special summon it from like 1-for-1 or something, for example, even the soul charge, you can pretty much flood the field. And maybe they'll get a link monster. I don't know. But what the archetype looks like they're going to try to make it be, it's going to be kind of Altergeist-esque. So I'd watch out for that. Maybe this card will be pretty good then. Last but not least, it's Shiranui's. Not a lot of... They get a lot of support. They got 2 new synchro monsters, 2 main deck monsters, 2 spells, and this link monster, which has the wonky field arrows. But that's fine. Honestly, this is fine because Mizuki and stuff can bring these cards back because it's a zombie monster. So honestly, the arrows don't really matter as long as it's pointing down and to the either way, honestly. But synchro monsters cannot be controlled by card effects. Also, fire monsters cannot be destroyed by battle during your opponent's turn. Quick effect: you can target 1 banished zombie synchro monster, special summon it. So this works with like Swallow, all the traps and spells that banishes like the synchro monster. So it honestly helps what the archetype wants to do. It's probably still not going to be a strong deck. Maybe it's a fun deck, but always something to consider. And I brought up Sweet Guitar. It's a fusion. That's pretty much it. I'm also going to bring up one more archetype that was introduced. That's not how you spell it. With all my time playing Persona 5... Whoops. All my time playing Persona 5. You think I know how to spell this. It's Time Thieves. So this archetype's actually really cool. This is honestly, if you want to try a for fun deck, ask anybody about rank 4 spam or Utopia spam. And you can probably tech this engine in as well. They're all dark psychic, so well, these 2 dark machines. But it's a generic rank 4 that says once per turn during the standby phase, you can attach a card from the top of your opponent's deck to this card as material. That's already like really cool. Like, what's it called? Not only are you feeling you like more materials to a Xyz monster, which 24 attack is actually pretty good for a rank 4. But you'll also just disruption. Like, you're thinning out your opponent's deck. You're taking a possibly good card. Yes, there's a chance, but also you have to remember, it doesn't matter what materials you put on this thing. It's always going to have an effect. Monster, banish this card from the end phase. Spell, draw 1 card. Trap, place 1 face-up card your opponent controls to the top of the deck. This does not target. So if you have a trap like Shade Bringing or even Time Thief Flyback, is a good example, because when this is activated, you can attach a card from the deck, right? Is it Time Thief card? Yeah, it's Time Thief card. So you can attach this card as material to Time Thief Redoer and get this effect. And during the standby phase, the next turn, you can take whatever is back. Especially if you have like another shuffle card, like if you make Nightmare Unicorn, you can shuffle another monster back. Now it's going to be completely random in the deck. So now you have a chance to take it back and attach it to a material next turn, which is really neat. Overall, this archetype, I think, is definitely going to see some play. Maybe as a rogue deck. We'll find out. But yeah, this deck is all common too. So if you really want to get into the game and learn, you can always pick up these. But like I said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is kind of a review over the kind of the strong stuff in Savage Strike. Overall, it's a balanced set. Kind of on the weaker side. It's not as strong as, like, say, Flood was. Flames of Destruction was just, like, the set. Like, it was perfect top and bottom, which doesn't happen too often. So, if you guys are interested in more videos like this, please leave a comment and like. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys on stream. See ya!